going to take the picture that we have from our last tutorial with the importance of eating your vegetables, and we're going to use this as our starting point for the tutorial on HDR. So you've all watched the video, hopefully. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making sure everything has been flattened. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to duplicate this image. First I'm going to turn off my text because I don't want that on this. Okay. And then I'm going to image, and I'm going to turn off the background. There we go. I'm going to image, duplicate. Okay, so now I have a duplicate of it. So we've got two versions of it. Now what I'm going to do is go into HR. And I've gotten rid of all the things that I really don't want to change. So I'm going to go to image. I'm going to flatten this image layer. I'm going to flatten the whole image. There we go. Okay, she's flattened. All right. So now when I flatten this, I can go to Image, Adjustment, HER toning. Now, here's the situation. I flattened it. Otherwise, it will come up and ask you to flatten it. So I highly recommend that you flatten the, you only bring over what you want to bring over. All right, so up here a bunch of presets, and I'm going to use Surrealistic as my starter. And you can see what's going, the radius here. I'm going to play with the radius. And I'm going to mess with this. Let me go back to here. Let's go back, Surrealism. Let's look and see what the different ones do. There's high contrast, low contrast, Surrealistic high contrast. Ooh, like it. Let's go high contrast. Just Surrealism. I kind of like that one best. All right. So what's happening? This is the glow. And you've watched all of this. And there's the strength. And I'm going to bring the highlights up a bit. And I might do it down here with the tone and histogram just to play with it a little bit. Get a sense of how it's going to work. And you're going to start playing with these and getting a sort of a sense of what the way you want it to look. So I've sort of played with this a little bit, vibrance. And you've learned a little bit about how HDR works. So now what we're going to do is we're going to save this. Okay. I got this now. And I really don't want to I want to just take sort of parts of this over, but I'm going to take the whole thing, grab it, copy it, drop it over to tutorial 1, paste it. Okay, there it is over the top. Now I want to make sure actually, before I do that, let's go to Martha, and I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to merge group. And I'm going to right click on banana page, and I'm going to merge group so that I don't have as much going on. And I'm going to melon. I'm going to merge group. All right, so now if you notice, I've brought down the size of everything. Let's see if I can bring it up so I can show you. Come on. The size is now down to almost a respectable size. All right, so we've got this on top. Boom, boom. And we may decide that we want to do just parts of it. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to put a masking layer on that. Where are you? There you go. Masking layer. And I'm going to start playing with it. I'm going to use my brush to do this. And I'm going to use a big brush. And this should, I need to either use a brush. I'm going to reverse this. So I'm using the brush for both things. There's the brush. So I'm going to go in very carefully, and I'm going to clean up. Let's make that bigger. All of this, because I really don't want this edge to be as crazy as all that. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to clean it up. All right, I'm taking a little bit of the other stuff, but that's okay. Let's turn on the background. So we got a white background, clean it up a little bit here and here. And I may decide that I'm going to go in here and just, hopefully I should just be able to hit delete. Nope. Edit, undo. I'm going to flip that. Delete. There we go. You have to flip these back and forth to get them to do what you want. All right, so now I'm going to go down here and I will take this edge also, hit delete. And again, I've made the white, and now I'm going to go here and I'm going to hit delete. Oh, come on. Nope. All right, for some reason I've gotten it into the wrong area. All right. So I'm going to get rid of that. Control D, deselect. Now I'm going to go into here, hit delete. All right, I'll go back and fix where I want to fix it. And I'm going to go in here. I'm going to use the edge here to just grab this corner here. Hit delete. And I have to re-add back this over here because I took it out. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to select this area here. Come on, one more time. Having a moment. Okay, come on. There we go. And I'm going to add it back on. Okay. I'll return these so that it adds it back on. Hit delete. And I've got that back on there. So basically by switching these back and forth, you're adding and subtracting sections, and I'm using the marquee to do that because I like to. All right, so now I've got that, and I can have my eat your vegetables. And now it's a little funkier. I could choose to take parts of this and make it less funky if I wanted to. But now what you're doing is you're using a little bit of that toning to pop the whole thing up. So the difference is between this and this. All right. Ooh, I can see that I need to do a little more cleaning. Come on. Up here. Here we go. And flip that. So I'm hitting delete. That doesn't seem to want to delete. All right. Well, so that's how I'm playing it with that. So after you've watched the other one, I want you to take this piece and you can decide that, you want to do this, but you really want the melon to be less destroyed. So I'm going to go in here with my melon. I'll reduce the size of this. And again, I'm just using, and if I go in here, yeah. So I got to reverse these. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make the opacity like 50%. So that I'm softening this up, but I'm not taking the HDR out entirely. Because you can do this. You don't have to have everything 100%. And if you look over on your layer palette now, you'll see that the mask layer has got a gray section in it. And maybe this area. This is a little too much. I'm going to go into my banana. Give it a little bit more. So you can sort of take sections out and put sections in. I'm going to bring her up a little bit because she tends to disappear. There. Okay. All right. So that's sort of what I did. So watch the first video on how this all HDR works and then redo yours. And then, of course, file, save as, save this one as class tutorial 2. And then make sure you make a PNG of it, export quickly as a PNG, and upload that to your drive.